The Pentagon spent 16 hours before issuing a statement. When it came, it was 3 sentences. They confirmed the loss. They confirmed the pilot was recovered. They said nothing about what brought the aircraft down. In military communications, that kind of silence is not an accident. It is a decision, tells you something that 3 sentences never could. Because what Iran claims it used to bring that jet down is a system that changes every calculation about what American air power can still do. Here is what we can confirm and what remains contested. The United States confirmed that an F-35 was targeted and made an emergency landing. The pilot required medical treatment. That is Washington's own admission. The first time in history an F-35 sustained combat damage that forced a pilot into treatment. Beyond that, independent satellite imagery has corroborated a debris field in Kerman Province consistent with the twin-tail configuration of an F-22 Raptor. The wreckage is scattered across approximately 3 kilometers. Aviation analysts who examined the available imagery have stated publicly that the dispersion pattern is consistent with a mid-air structural failure at altitude, not a controlled emergency landing following mechanical failure. The Pentagon's statement described a critical malfunction. They have not released radar data. They have not released flight telemetry. They have not confirmed hostile fire. They have not denied it either. Iranian state media published video of wreckage within 6 hours of the incident. This morning, a new video emerged claiming an F-18 Super Hornet strike. Iranian media have also published footage claiming hits on an F-16 and an F-15 in recent days. None of those additional claims has been independently verified. What is not in dispute is the pattern itself. Iranian claims of aircraft strikes are arriving faster than American denials. But here is where the story shifts from tactics to strategy. The IRGC made a specific announcement in recent days that deserves more attention than it is receiving. They stated that after the 12-day war in June 2025, they developed or acquired a new system capable of targeting American aircraft. And that system is now operational. They have not disclosed what that system is. What they have disclosed is a pattern of engagement: the F-35 emergency landing, the F-22 debris field, the F-18 video, the claimed JASSM cruise missile intercepts near Tehran and Markazi Province. The existing known component of Iran's architecture is the Bavar 373 system, their domestically produced answer to the Russian S-300. According to Iranian state media and independent defense analysts, it operates on VHF and L-band radar wavelengths, frequencies at which the F-22's stealth geometry provides significantly reduced protection. The missile Iran claims was used in the F-22 engagement is the SAD-4B. Iranian state figures put its range at 300 kilometers and its unit cost at approximately $2 million. These figures have not been independently confirmed. Then, there are the FPV drones. Fiber optic guided, bypassing electronic jamming entirely, flying below radar coverage. Footage released this week shows drone strikes on an MPQ-64 air defense radar and 2 US-60 Black Hawk helicopters at a major American base in Iraq. Confirmed targets, unconfirmed damage and casualties. The number that reframes everything is that $2 million figure. The F-22 program cost $67 billion across its development, testing and production lifecycle. Only 187 aircraft were ever built. Production ended in 2011. And the tooling, supply chains, and industrial capacity were dismantled. There is no path back to production, regardless of budget. If the U.S. Congress approved funding tomorrow, Lockheed Martin cannot build another F-22. The fleet that exists is the fleet that will ever exist. Against that irreversibility, if the SAD-4B costs $2 million per round, the cost exchange on a single engagement is 175 to 1 in Iran's favor. Even if 9 out of 10 missiles miss, still a favorable exchange. Even if Iran expends an entire battery's worth of missiles per engagement, they come out mathematically ahead. And Iran can replace missiles. It cannot replace aircraft that the United States also cannot replace. The Bavar 373 battery, radar, launcher vehicles, command module, 40 missiles, costs approximately $200 million to produce. Iran reportedly operates 15 or more of these systems, covering enormous swaths of contested airspace. The total investment is approximately $3 billion. America spent $67 billion on the F-22 program. Iran built a system that challenges it for roughly 4% of that cost. This is asymmetric warfare reduced to arithmetic, and the arithmetic does not favor the defender. But the loss of capability is only one layer. The second layer is what the Pentagon chose not to say, and what that silence is doing to deterrence right now. Both sides are fighting two wars simultaneously, the physical war in the air and the narrative war over what that air war means. Iran releases footage within hours of claimed strikes. They name the aircraft, they name the weapon, they publish wreckage images and frame each engagement as proof of capability, reach, and strategic coherence. Their audience is not primarily domestic. It is the governments, militaries, and defense procurement offices, watching from Moscow, Beijing, Pyongyang, and every capital that has ever considered buying an American stealth platform, or has been told those platforms cannot be countered. Washington's response is 3 sentences, 16 hours later, and a phrase, critical malfunction. That is technically true, in the sense that a proximity-fused warhead detonating near an airframe does create a critical malfunction. The problem is that credibility gaps, once opened, are very difficult to close. Every subsequent American denial of Iranian claims is now read through the lens of the first denial. When the U.S. initially said the F-35 made an emergency landing, and then confirmed the pilot needed medical treatment, the next denial arrived into an environment where audiences had learned to add information to the official statement rather than take it at face value. Deterrence runs on perception. When the perception changes, the deterrence changes with it, even if the underlying capability does not. Reports indicate F-22 missions into Iranian airspace have been suspended pending a full review of mission profiles. If that suspension holds, and given the cost math, it is difficult to imagine a commander authorizing another $350 million exposure into a proven threat envelope. Strike operations shift to standoff weapons. Cruise missiles launched from outside Iranian air defense range. Longer flight times. More warning for defenders. Reduced strike precision compared to a penetrating aircraft. And if the JASSM interception claims prove accurate, even standoff weapons carry new risk. The aircraft that would substitute the F-35 is more numerous, deployable in much larger quantities, but it was designed as a multi-role strike platform, not an air superiority fighter. It is also vulnerable to the same long-wavelength radar physics that appear to have compromised the F-22. The audience for this outcome extends far beyond the Gulf. Russia has spent years telling S-400 export customers that their systems can counter American stealth. This conflict is providing field validation. China is analyzing every available detail against its own contingency planning for a Taiwan scenario. The HQ-9 system uses related design principles. Every adversary with an air defense investment just received an operational data point they could not have purchased. One aircraft, one engagement, one equation. The math is the message. The story doesn't end here. It evolves. What we discussed today is not just history. It is history in progress. If you found value in this conversation, follow the channel and be part of the journey as we continue to uncover what others overlook. Until next time, watch closely, think deeply.